Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Naresh and today we are going to create this.
How do they know which color? How do we know that the Big Bang? How do they know how much anesthesia to give? Global population, climate of the earth, speed of light, speed of light. How do they know? How do they sure? How do they know what color is dark sea? How do they know that the Big Bang happened? How much anesthesia to give? Global population.
One of you have asked to do editing breakdown of this Howtown channel's video editing. So let's see it first at the speed of 0.25x and see how they have edited it. So in the first scene, remove the background using rotobrush and then the animated map behind. The rest of the thing is pretty clear as it is an animation of the images in their blending modes, high quality map background with some vintage and authentic documents backed by quality research typical of box style videos. They use masking to show people inside the map. The use of paper cuts looks like scanned images. It is arranged in the form of a question mark and then animated using the 3D camera. So let's jump into our After Effects and try to recreate it. So most challenging thing for this video is getting high quality maps to use as a background, and this 30-second composition is so heavy on the system. So I have found a workaround for it to record it smoothly. As we are learning the approach, it doesn't matter if we don't have the exact images and graphics. Alright, I have created various folders to organize our assets as this is going to be a big project with a lot of images, textures, PDF and videos. Let us start by creating a new composition of HD size and keep it for 15 seconds. Although it requires at least 30 seconds and will be heavy on the system. So after we finalize the project, we will expand it to 30 seconds and then render it. Now let us create another composition, call it questions of 6000 by 10,000 size. Uncheck this option for that and click OK. Now I have taken this screenshot. Let us add it as the guide. This will help us to arrange the images and composition. After which we will import it to the master and using the camera we will animate it. So let us create this first scene. Here the background of the video is removed. You can use the rotobrush tool in the After Effects or any other software to remove the background. And you can watch this video on how to use the rotobrush tool. So let's create the first map background. For that I will be using this map. I have provided the assets and the project in the link which is there in the description. It might be useful for the practice alone. Let's create a new composition, map 1, and add this map PDF file. Scale it and adjust its position however you like. Go to master and add this map 1 composition and set its position. Go to map 1 and double click on the rectangle tool to create this frame. And you can mess with it to get some variation like adding drop shadow, textures, etc. Now here we can add an image or video, but I am adding this image here as a placeholder. Now what else is there in this first scene? These images and PDF articles images, etc. have been added. So let's do that. So I am adding this color spectrum image here and I am using a rectangle mask to resize it and fit it here. We are not going to copy it exactly, as we are more interested in the process of this kind of editing. Okay, so let us move this image here. Now add this dog image here and again using the rectangle tool, resizing it. Duplicate and adjust the mask to create the new image. Select both and adjust the size and position. You can use the hand tool to move the screen by pressing the spacebar key. Now add this PDF file, use a rectangle mask, scale it and set the position. Now change its blending mode to multiply. Now let us add this image that I have prepared in Photoshop. Let us isolate these two layers and set the position of the image. Now let us add this DNA mapping image and resize and set it here. Now let us add this Big Bang news image. Scale it, reduce its opacity and use the mask to resize it. Again change the opacity to 100%. This is how you can arrange all the graphics and images. Now this image is behind the other layers, so let us move it here. Now it is looking perfect and the scene 1 is over. Moving to the second scene where again map layer and this shape can be created in Photoshop or After Effects, or you can download or scan it. So let us first create map 2 composition. Here you can see it is the map and in it there is a video in front of the blue map. For that we are going to use the map PDF. So add it here and add a new white solid as a background behind the map. Select the part of the map you want to use. Perfect. Now pre-compose it and name it a white map or whatever you want. Now go to layer source, duplicate it and rename it as a blue map. Add it here in map 2 and now open this blue map composition and change the solid using Shift Command Y to blue. Move to the top and change the blending mode to overlay. Now over this white map, I am going to create a mask using a pen tool. You can create a shapes however you want. Alright, then go to the mask and invert it. You can also add a drop shadow effect and increase the distance and softness. You can also add a stroke if you want to add a border around this mask and change the size and color of the stroke. Now you can put images or videos here with or without background, however you like. Let me add a marker and a note. Alright, now add this composition here as it is the beneath all other layers. Rotate and adjust the position and scale. You can cut this layer in different shapes to mimic it like paper cuts. We will use a pen tool for that using the reference screenshot. Now let us add this Hubble telescope blueprint and adjust its size and scale just like we did it before. Now we will add star shapes here. So without selecting any layers, select the star tool and create star shape here. Now go to Polystar, select Polystar path and select it to 5 points if not already. Then you can play with the inner radius and outer radius to make it thin or thick. Then duplicate it and change the position and rotation. Change the fill to solid red for both the layers. Also change the anchor point to the center by double clicking the anchor point while holding the command or control key. Now select both the star and pre-compose it. Let's call it star shape. Now let us add a video file of Big Bang. Pre-compose it and name it Big Bang video. Go to that composition and create a circular mask over it. Select both the shapes and increase the size. Alright, perfect. Now we can adjust the size and scale properly. Change the order of the layers. Now let us create map 3 by creating a new composition and select a different map this time. We can also add some texture as an overlay to get a different look. Play with the blending mode whichever suits the needs. You can also add tint or black and white effects from the effects and presets. Pre-compose and call it map 3. Create blue map just like I have already demonstrated and create a mask over it. Use a pen tool to cut and fit the map in the question composition. Rename this pre-comp as map 3 pre. Let's change the order of this layer here. Add it here, rotate and adjust the size. We can readjust the mask size by going back to this pre-comp and readjusting the mask path. Alright, you can also add stock footage like this here. I have this text screenshot that I will add here. Change the scale and position and change its blending mode to divide. Rotate and adjust the position. Now I will demonstrate how to add these two paper notes like things that look cut from magazines. To create that, I am going to use this two paper PNG I have downloaded. For the first, I am going to use this. So select and add it to our question comp. This looks like it was cut with scissors and we will get this kind of look soon. So pre-compose it and call it paper cut. We are going to add 3 lines and the text in between. So use the pen tool and add a stroke. Keep fill to none and stroke to solid. And select a faint red color. So without selecting any layers, add one point here. Keep holding shift and add another point here. Add 2 lines at the point below. For the top line, stroke size is around 200 and for the rest 250 or so. Alright, so this looks good. Select the shape and add a turbulent displacement effect. Change the amount to 30 and size to 2. Add roughen edges and change them to rusty. Increase the edge sharpness and reduce the scale and fractal noise. Now change the blending mode to color burn. Now select both the effects, copy them and then paste it to the other 2 layers. Also change the blending mode. Now let's add text. I have selected Arial black font. Adjust the size and position. Paste turbulent displacement and change the blending mode to multiply. Alright, now use the pen tool and cut it like this. So this is the shape we have created. Now adjust its size, rotation and position appropriately. For the rest of the demo, I am using map already created. So add this map here and scale and adjust its position. Cut the outline as per the need using pen tool. Similarly, we can add this second paper cut image here. Edit and adjust the size and position. Now add this image and use the pen tool to cut and customize it. Just like that. We can add drop shadows to these images and maps. Alright, following all previous steps, you can add more and more graphics and images or videos just like that. This is how it will look after adding all maps and images, the shape of the question mark. We will add it to master, convert it to 3D and then we will animate it. Okay, one thing missing here is old television PNG, so let's add it here. Change the order and use the pen tool to mask it, so that video or image under it will be displayed. Draw a mask across the screen and invert it. Use the space bar to move the screen. You can add the placeholder if you want. Alright, now first we will animate the images and later we will add trim paths to it. So go to master and add the questions composition to it, convert it to 3D. Add a new camera of 35mm and we will start the animation. So let us first animate its position. Let's open the camera and add keyframes to position, orientation, rotation, etc. at the beginning. Now let us set the first position using this camera pen tool. Move to 1 second and add keyframe to position. Move your playhead to 2 second mark or here. Change the position to here. And also we have to rotate it. Use the Z rotation to rotate. Move around 1 second and add a position keyframe so it will stay in the current position for 1 second. Similarly, set other scenes as well. Don't forget to add the current rotation keyframe just before the rotation if the rotation value is changing. We can also add slight zooming by changing the z-axis in the position parameter. So this is going to rotate. So I am adding a rotation keyframe here at the current position, and then I will rotate it in the next keyframe just like that. Adjust the rest of the scene by moving and repositioning the question composition. Alright, so here we forgot to add the current rotation frame, which is why it is rotating weirdly. So keep your playhead here and change the Z rotation to 0. Okay, perfect. So select all the keyframes and press F9 for Z's. Now select the position keyframes and click on speed graph. Make sure you are in the speed graph, drag the handle and adjust the curve like this. So it will start slow and end fast. Let's play it. Alright, it is moving fast because we have a 15-second duration composition currently, and we will double it just before the rendering. Now let us animate these images in the first scene. So first is this background. So go to question composition and select this map 1, press P for the position, and around 6 to 7 frames add position keyframe. Move backward at the beginning and change the position out of the screen here. Also don't forget to add motion blur to each layer. Change the speed graph after selecting and pressing F9 just like we did it before. Slow start and end fast. Alright, so this is good. Similarly animate the images as well, which are in the first scene from different directions. Adjust the position of the Big Bang video if needed, so it starts playing as soon as it changes to that scene. Now let's add trim paths and animate it. So go to questions and without selecting any layers, add a line using the pen tool from first scene to the last scene, covering all the images. Choose a stroke color faint blue or purple. You can adjust the thickness later. Alright, now select the layer and pre-compose it. Call it path. Open this path, content, shape, stroke, click on the dashes, change to the round cap. Again click on dash, it will add the gap. Increase the gap by bumping its value. Add turbulent displacement effect and change the value to 30 and 2. Also add roughen edges to play with the value. Now duplicate the layer and move it so it looks like a 3D. You can also add a noise effect and change the size to get the appropriate look. Now let's animate the path. So from here we can start animating the path. Let's change the stroke size to 40. So select layers and add trim paths for both. Go to trim path, select end and make it 0. Repeat it for the second path. Go to the master and here it should be ending. So come to the path and change it back to 100. Select both the keyframes, press F9, select both and change the speed graph to slow and then fast, just like this. Play and check how it is doing. And adjust the position of the keyframes. Okay, let's adjust again till it gets perfect. Alternatively, add a suitable texture to the shape. Click on the preserve transparency and change the blending mode to overlay. It will give this kind of grungy look. You can also change the color of the second shape. Now duplicate and spread it over the shape. We can scale it if it is having fine texture. Click preserve transparency for all. You can change the turbulence size to 5. Alright, now we can play with the opacity of the TV and the video behind it. add a keyframe to opacity for the TV and placeholder, move forward around here and change it back to 0. After you finish the project, we can extend the time. Let me quickly demonstrate that. So go to composition settings and change the duration to 30 seconds. Select all the layers and extend it for 30 seconds. Okay, now go to questions composition and also make it 30 seconds. Select all the layers and expand them. Do the same for the Trimpath composition. Now we can expand question composition. Now press U to reveal all the keyframes. Select all and hold Option or Alt key to expand them as per the duration required. Adjust the same thing for Trimpath as well. Adjust the image animation timings in the first scene by expanding them. Now few scenes in the middle are animating fast. You can do so by moving the keyframe close. Similarly, expand the last few keyframes to make them slower. Alright, now only the TV image is left, so change the keyframe position for it. Adjust the timing of Trimpath animation as per the scene transition so it follows it. Let us check. Okay, now it's following. Alright, so our animation is ready and give it a final touch. And once it is ready to render, change the placeholder with the videos you want to show.
What color is dog? See, how do they know?
This is heavy and it will take hours together to render. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
How do we know Big Bang happen? Big Bang happen. Big Bang. Big Bang. Bang. Big Bang happen. How do we know Big Bang happen? Global population. Global cosmic. Global
Global, global,
global population.